Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Doctor Interested webinar series. My name is Adil Mukti, and I am the Executive Director of Doctor Interested. We're so excited to have you here with us today as part of our ongoing efforts to inspire, educate, and empower future health professionals. Before we begin, just a few quick reminders. Please keep your microphones muted unless you're speaking so that we can minimize background noise. And of course, stay engaged throughout the session. We encourage you to take notes and think about questions you might want to ask during the Q&A period. We do ask that you keep your cameras on. However, be mindful that we are recording. If you do turn them on, you may show up in the recording. Um, we would also like to take a moment and acknowledge that this event is being organized in Mississauga, Ontario, which is situated on the traditional and treaty territories of the Mississauga of the Credit First Nation, and that this land is home to many Indigenous people, including the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, the Huron-Wendat, and the Ojibwe-Chippewa people. As we gather virtually today, we encourage all our participants to reflect on the lands they are joining from and to recognize the enduring presence and contributions of Indigenous people across Turtle Island, now known as Canada, and the world. I would also like to remind you that if you haven't already, you can join our certificate stream. This is a great opportunity to build your portfolio, gain an official certificate, and learn directly from medical students and professionals. You'll also have the chance to attend and engage with more incredible webinars like this one. I know some people are joining us from the Discord, so if you do want to join this stream, it is open. The QR code is here and the link is on the Discord as well. Now, I am thrilled to introduce today's speaker, Akir. She will be sharing exploring medicine early and choosing the right major, something that I know is an incredible resource for so many people, including myself. And a quick background on who they are. Akir is a student currently pursuing her Bachelor's of Medicine and Surgery at the University of Juba. She is an advocate for accessible healthcare education in underrepresented communities and explores fields such as neurosurgery, neurology, and anything to do with the brain. She believes in learning with purpose, compassion, and making space for others by listening deeply and showing intention in any subject she pursues. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Akir. The floor is yours.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. And I would love to express how excited I am to be attending this webinar. Um, I'm very sure many of you have felt unsure about their paths, and everybody seems to be having a hard time to get it figured out, especially with medical school and college and everything. However, I would like to also let you know that that was me a few years ago. I was staring at a long list of majors: biology, chemistry, psychology, and I even considered doing a double major. And that was all because, well, in my country, that is not really what happens. We do not pursue a bachelor's, you just go in straight from high school. But I, at that time, was applying to US colleges. So, yeah, I was where most of you, I believe, are today, be it Canada or the US. And for other countries, we are also going to have that covered here. But I just would like to let you know that it's okay. It is okay to be having a hard time. And I know that times where you think to yourself that, what should I pick? Should it be what everybody does that gets them into medical school, or should I just pick what excites me the most? And honestly, I didn't know the answers at first too, and that is surely okay too. Today, we aren't just going to be talking about the right choice. We are going to be sharing a journey and everything I've learned about exploring medicine early and how I figured out what was right for me. Even if I didn't end up going to the US, upon my acceptance, I knew exactly what it was I was going to take, and I knew it was going to guarantee me into medical school had I been there. So, yeah, we are going to be talking about your story too today. We are going to reflect and think about it. So, why start early? Well, the thing about medicine is, no, really, it's not really what you see on the TV. shadowing is the first thing that opened my eyes. I used to think doctors just did rounds, they just wrote prescriptions, and yeah, that is really what it really was about, according to me. But when I observed a clinic, when I first shadowed, I got to see what medicine really was about, the decision making and the emotional weight, the human connections, and how what you decided would really affect a patient. And it was then that I realized that if I had really waited until university, then I would have hated it. I would have hated that I've missed out on experiences that would have helped me to even know why I chose medicine and why I love it. So shadowing is really, really important, and it helps us to get to know what medicine really is about and the deep secrets that are within it, because we now get to explore it in a physical way whereby we get to see everything happening. Volunteering has also brought a completely different perspective for me. I helped at a local health outreach. The patients weren't like the kind of patients I read about in like cases in books. If anything, they were people with like real stories and challenges and hopes. And to be honest, I did love volunteering because I used to struggle with public speaking, and it was really hard for me. I always think to myself, how am I going to really talk to people, especially with my social anxiety? I was really scared, but it did help me too on like that part, on that aspect. I gained public speaking skills and I learned how to communicate with people. So yeah, the human side is something you can't learn from lectures really, unless through interactions through volunteering. Next are internships. I did some research and lab internships and online programs, and they really did teach me the skills that I actually needed. And when even a few hours a week, everything I did teach me patience and problem solving and how research works in real life. So I would say that volunteering, internships, and shadowing are the best ways you can explore medicine. Yeah, surely through other ways, you could maybe be watching podcasts or, just even vlogs of those in medical school and all that. But these ones really do give you the experience as though you are there. And I do believe that the best. So, yeah, I did write down how I felt every time with each experience. And it did help me learn a lot what energized me, what frustrated me about medicine, what surprised me, and these insights really did shape my path and my decision to end up with medicine. Um, Next, I would like to go to how you can start exploring early. Well, sure. Deciding you want to do medicine is something anybody and everybody can choose, but how do you actually start? That is always the real big question. Well, you could start small. It doesn't have to be something overwhelmingly big. You could just maybe email a doctor at your local clinic or hospital, to shadow for a day. I ever did send an email and it actually did change my perspective completely. And that is, by the way, how I got to have my first shadowing experience. It all started with an email. Yeah, and community opportunities do matter too, like so much. I am from South Sudan. So here, our communities do face a lot of, let's just say, a broken health system. We live in a community that does require a lot of improvements in the health field. So, yeah, volunteering at an NGO here in South Sudan also did teach me teamwork. It taught me empathy and patient communication, like I said before, things you cannot really get in a classroom. And yeah, the digital world is another way you can start exploring, just through internships, to webinars like this one, and perhaps just programs, virtual ones. And I do believe in areas where people who are in the US, for example, or in Canada, I do believe you guys do have access to many programs. And I would really urge you guys to join as many as you can. Of course, the legitimate ones, but the ones that you really love to and you see yourself, even if not doing so well in or doing well in, do not doubt your abilities. Just choose them because they will help you, they'll teach you research ethics, lab skills, and you could even get a recommendation out of them. So yeah, through how with the ways I started, I got to know more about what I enjoyed, what challenged me, what skills came naturally. all of that. And that reflection is more important than the hours you spend. Small steps in and build momentum. You don't need a perfect plan right away. That is one thing for sure. So please start small and keep believing in yourself. Next, I would like to go to how to pick a major that is right for you. All right. So, yeah, one thing about majors is that they are very overwhelming to choose for sure. Because when I was first applying to the US, like I did mention earlier, I got accepted into a scholars program that prepares students here in South Sudan because the application process is a whole new thing for us, and we really didn't know much about it. So we were mostly like trained and taught every aspect of it, the Common App and everything else. And yeah, one thing we were told about for those who really wanted medicine, even if usually it was a 1% chance to get into medical, sure, for sure, as international students. But yeah, they would tell us pick biology. That is that it's a safe option and that it's what would really get you into medical school. But through readings and articles and like deep reflection, I got to know that you do not really have to. You don't have to choose biology. You don't have to pick biochemistry. You do not really have to do uh, only medical or let's say sciences. Yeah, you can do sciences, but I mean those ones that are specifically that will get you to medical school. You don't have to go by them at all. You don't have to do the biomedical sciences and all that. You can pick something you genuinely love. If it is psychology, if it is computer science, if it is public health, even if it is film studies, I would say go for it if it's what you really want to do in college and it's what you want to major in and what really excites you, as long as you meet the prerequisites, because that is the important part, right? When they say when they say choose biology, I believe, yeah, biology surely does help medical applicants to medical school to get in, but not much. I would say 2% out of 100. Why? Because it is literally what almost everybody majors in before they get into medical school. Not everyone, but a huge percentage. And I don't really think it helps you much. If anything, if you choose something like film studies, for example, I believe that you stand out. You stand out because you have a different story to bring to the table. And on top of it, why would someone interested in film also want medicine? You know, that is like something so fascinating, and the person would love to even learn more about you. So I would say don't just pick a major that is mostly what is on Google or everywhere. And let's say what you know most of the people that got into medical school did. I would say rather do what you love, because one thing about college is, yeah, you surely go there for an education, but it is where you grow to. And you do not want to pick something you don't love and something you're doing just to get into medical school, even if it's the goal. And then you, let's say, miss out of like the kind of experience you wanted from that college. So choose what you love, what you know you'll have fun studying. And in the meantime, make sure you also meet the prerequisites. So if you want to do, let's say, psychology, well, yeah, psychology is amongst the majors that's chosen. So let me choose something different. Um, I would say if you want to do, let's say, for example, business administration, I know that is very, very rare. And that seems like, oh, that would not get me and that would just put me off the edge. But no, if you do it, you know, entrepreneurship skills are like really, really important too in medicine. And I believe so because, well, one thing about business is, yeah, business and entrepreneurship may seem more like just stuff to do with selling and buying and all that, but they do really help you grow like some very important soft skills that you could actually use in medical school and in your professional life as a doctor too. And I believe they can give you a background that would help you stand out. So if you do business administration, for example, in the US, you could now also do the pre-med courses that are required, such as general organic chemistry, biology, and everything else. I think you guys do know the prerequisites or could always look them up. Plus, take your MCAT and do really well. And I believe that would actually make you stand out. And at the same time, you've met the prerequisites. So it doesn't have to be that one major. In Canada, I believe you do science courses and you do the is it the CASPA, something of that kind? Yeah. So I believe schools value reflection and diverse majors. In the UK, it's all about A levels and the UCAD. So yeah, your major is tightly linked to your A level subjects. And in countries like India, I think it's the NEET. Africa, it's just mostly doing well in your senior year, like okay, throughout high school, and you take maybe biology and chemistry. So yeah, I would say everywhere it's all about taking the basic science foundational courses required and then meeting the requirements. So no one is going to judge your choice, what you would study. If anything, pursue what you're passionate about and go to college and live your life in the way that you do love, but knowing that medicine and medical school is the goal. But regardless, you're not going to really do something you don't love because that could lead to burnout and many other stuff. Take the MCAT and yeah, you could definitely get into medical school by personally pursuing your your interests with core sciences and balancing everything. Next is how exploration shapes your academic path. Okay. Well, for me personally, exploration, it did teach me about medicine and myself. It really did teach me what it is that made me even want to do medicine in the first place and what it is about it that would make me want to keep going. So yeah, shadowing taught me like it taught me what I loved clinically, volunteering gave me strengths in communication and even did teach me more about empathy. And research taught me patience and analytical thinking. So for this, I would say explore a lot and think to yourself, what experience is it that makes me feel really confident, but is really related to medicine too? And the answer to that question will guide your major choice. If it is something that you do not really love much, it's okay. Keep reflecting. And when you keep reflecting and you find something that, connects to both the major and your interests and strengths, you're not just going to be surviving, you will be thriving, even through long studies, even if they're long hour studies and challenging exams. And I believe that is what you want to make your college experience about, both education and personal growth. Next, I would love to go to slide 6. That would be mistakes that can hold you back. Yeah, surely one can make a lot of mistakes, and mistakes are part of life, they're part of learning. So it's not like a crime or anything, and it's okay to make them. But the common mistakes I've seen are one, following the crowd, such as picking a major just because everybody else does or needs it, for example, based on their perspectives to get them into medical school, like we've discussed. Choose what you love and what you're passionate about, believe in yourself, meet the requirements, and don't follow the crowd. You can always make your story stand out by pursuing something you are really passionate about. And, while attaching it both to medicine and what it is. So don't follow the crowd, pick what you love and thrive in it, and use it to be your stepping stone to get into medical school. Another mistake is waiting too long to explore, and then you realize later that you do not really like medicine. And this is why medicine is encouraged to be explored early because, well, I am not really a person who says that, yeah, medicine is hard, but I wouldn't say it is the hardest. I am someone who fears engineering, for example. I do believe that those people are just something else. But medicine, that doesn't undermine medicine. It has a lot of content and there is a lot. But in the same way, other fields too do have a lot of work and there's just a lot to study and a lot to know and a lot to learn. And within that a lot, there could be maybe passions that you have in you that you do not know. That is why you shouldn't wait too long to explore and to see what it is you like, because you may think to yourself you like medicine and then maybe later on realize that you do not actually love it, and you are just doing it for the sake of maybe thinking that that is what you are meant for. So explore medicine early and get to learn whether it is really what you want or not, so that you can get to experience everything else that we talked about, from maybe now taking the next step to how you can start, to choosing your major and everything. So do not wait long and start right now. Start getting to know everything about medicine and exploring it to know if it's for you or not, and if you're willing to commit. Next, I would say ignoring reflection and not really understanding your strengths and your preferences. Uh, I would say do not let burnout, confusion, or regret let you make that mistake. I would like each and every one of you to really understand your strengths and what it is you really prefer, what mistake you can avoid, by acting intentionally, and even small awareness makes a huge difference. So please reflect and get to know everything about what it is you want. Yeah, nobody can have it all figured out right now, but surely you can at least have maybe a small dot of the rope and then get to explore more and more, and that will lead you to exactly what it is you can hold on to. And I believe that's why I also love the whole college before medical school experience, because you get to know more. So that's why I did say go for what you're passionate about. And if you still think medicine is done for you, meet the prerequisites, but do not hold yourself back and lead yourself into something that you do not want. Next, I would say, uh, yeah, that would be it. So let's go to slide 7, which is going to be small steps to big clarity. Yeah, so this is what you could do this week and every day, as you keep on growing and getting to know if medicine is the one for you or not. And if it's the one you believe is for you, which it will be, because what's meant for you will always be for you. I would regardless urge you, whether you know it's the one or not the one, to journal your experiences. Every single shadowing, every volunteering, what it teaches you, write something down, because that could actually help you, later on when you reach college, to choose a major based on what you love, and even how to work out a plan, like to go ahead forward as you craft your path to medical school. So journal every day, write down your experiences, what you've learned, and yeah, it will really help you. Start small to be consistent, like it's not a must you have everything done at once. Go one time, maybe do one shadowing today, maybe a webinar tomorrow, volunteering tomorrow, listening to a podcast, just one thing at a time, and that will be more than enough, because you are exploring and there is no rush. So maybe make sure you separate the extracurriculars you are doing to get into college different from the ones you're doing to explore medicine, because those are two different stuff. Yeah, the extracurriculars now, maybe those are things you choose to do, not a maybe, but actually things you choose to do because they'll get you into the major. But before you even get to know the major, you need to explore. So one thing at a time to explore to help you in the major decisions. Next, I would say make good use of the resources around you, be it programs or even online resources, courses. Just try something, okay, this week. And well, with each, maybe one small action, ask yourself what's one small action you'll take. If it is sending an email to a doctor, that's really gonna open doors. And I think you should give it a try. I personally did for the first time want to study medicine simply because I read Ben Carson's book, and all the praise he got from being that neurosurgeon that did the separation for like the twins. Okay, I think you guys did hear about it. I'm not gonna go much into details because of time, but yeah, I wanted to do medicine because of Cloud. It wasn't really because I loved it. That was my first time trying to do, like, when I first discovered I wanted to do medicine. It wasn't really because I wanted. It was just because by then I was a kid. I was about 11, but I did enjoy the idea of attention and the respect doctors got. But as I grew up, that really faded, and I didn't want to do medicine anymore. But then I started exploring again with the shadowing, the volunteering, and started falling in love with the idea of being able to bring life into the world. Be it, yeah, I love neurology, neurosurgery, neuroscience, and all that. But I also do have obs and gyn as a specialty I'd love to maybe, one day specialize in. And yeah, it was the first thing that made me fall in love before I got to know I'm fascinated about the brain. So I would say truly reflect, get to know if you want it or not. And even if later on in life you get to change your mind, it's okay, because you'll have done things you truly want with no regrets. Yeah. I think now I'll be wrapping up to the question and answer part. Now, just I would like to hear from you guys. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you so much, Akir, for sharing your insights with us today. That was incredibly valuable, and I know our audience learned a lot. Um, we are running a little low on time, so before we do questions, I'm going to share the attendance form in the chat. The attendance form will ask for your name and the webinar's name, along with one thing you learned today. Please fill it out within the next hour before it closes. This way, once we post the recording, people can't do it later. And make sure that gets done in the next hour. But while we do have some time left, we will open the floor to some questions. So please raise your hand or put it in the chat if you have any questions. We will also be posting a recording YouTube link and a space for questions on the Discord. We'll have a channel on there for about a week or so for you to ask questions and have Akir answer them. Once again, thanks everyone for joining us, and a special thanks to Akir for such a thoughtful presentation. And we hope to see you at our next Doctor Interested webinar series event.
Riley.
Here's one in the chat. What advice would you give to students who are still unsure whether medicine is the right path for them?
Okay, that is a great question. Like I did say before, and I will repeat, and I hope this is of really much help to you. I would say, even if you're not sure about medicine and if it's the right path for you, but the fact that the idea in some one way or another did come up in your mind, I'd say explore. For now, start with reading articles, start with seeing what life in medicine is like. If you are not really, really sure about it, meaning you're not really willing to take the steps into shadowing and volunteering yet, I would say watch documentaries, read articles, watch vlogs, watch medical series. While medical series may not be exactly what medicine is like, they give an idea of what it is. So do all that, and it will really help you know if you really want to get into that kind of field. And then afterwards, that's when you go into steps like shadowing, volunteering, and internships related to medicine. I hope that answers your question.
And then someone else asked, they want to know what if healthcare administration is a good path because they want to have a leadership role without studying for a long time.
Pardon? I'm sorry, I kind of didn't hear.
They want to know if healthcare administration is a good path.
Oh, yeah, it is a good path. And it is with healthcare administration, you get to know more about like how, let's say, a healthcare center, hospital, and all that would like operate, right? And you would know more about their administrative roles, which is really good. But you would also obviously have to take the prerequisites, right? So I would say, yeah, it does give good insights into medicine in the administrative part, but it is good. It is good. And if it's what you want to like take at the same time, get into medical school with it, then I would say do some other extracurriculars alongside it that now give you more insights, more than just the administrative part, but like into maybe words and the whole experience together with like the requirements that are needed for medical school. So yeah, it is good.
Yeah.
It is all right. That answers your question.
And then medical schools need certain courses done in college. So I was wondering which ones they are and what degrees you can get with those courses, since pre-med isn't a program in and of itself. And can you double major?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, surely I don't study in the US or in Canada, but I was in the process, and from it I got to know that, yeah, medical schools surely do require some courses, and even if you're majoring in something that isn't really what has those courses, you could always take them. I think that's where program advisors come in. If you're majoring in something that's different from medicine and your intention is to go into medicine, it depends on the university, but there's always a pre-med program that allows you, even if you're a sociology student, to maybe take organic chemistry, to take biology, just the required prerequisites that will get you into medical school. So yeah, even if you explore a degree that's different from what it is like is the usual to take you to medical school. Through your school and your program advisor, you can take the courses required.